자, 현재.
Alright, let me get that.
앞서고 있는 가운데.
Alright, welcome back to GTB.
앞서고 있는 가운데
We are now going into the third game. It's going to be on Neo Aztec. It's going to be Mong versus Henya, which is Hengya. That is going to be Rain. Okay. I'm just looking everything up on the fish server Wikipedia. So that's how I'm figuring out who's who, because I don't know everybody's actual Korean name all that well. Otherwise, I'd just read that. Anyways, so we're gonna be on Neo Aztec. In the right, in the red, it is Rain, RRR. And on the left side of the map, in the 8 o'clock position, it is going to be Mong, 2-0 up in the series, going for the 3-0, maybe even the all kill. See if Mong is the next light. That's right, I have to remember that my face is on the cast now, so I have to pay attention to what's going on my face. But I'm drinking coffee, by the way. Alright. So, another TVP for Mong. And so far, Mong has done pretty well in all the TVPs. In fact, I think is Team BeSt all playoffs? I think they are, aren't they? Correct me if I'm wrong. Rain is a really good player right now. I think he's one of the better Protoss players, but I mean, we did just watch BeSt get wrecked and Jongbi get wrecked, both great PvT players, so the bar is set pretty high for Rain, but also pretty low because he's got to fail fantastically. So I did have a beard last week. I just shaved it off. So maybe you're thinking of my beard. Maybe not. Anyhow, scouting coming out right now. I'm going up to the top side instead. If I'm not mistaken, this is a 3-player map. So, he is going to be scouting his opponent last, which isn't a huge deal. 3-player maps, if you scout your opponent last, it's not a huge deal. You don't lose too much time comparatively. But definitely the biggest part of this map is the fact that you have these low ground mains. It makes it really difficult if your opponent can get any sort of a siege up position outside the natural. So I think it makes fake doubles and early timing pushes from Terran particularly strong, because if you can get tanks outside that natural, it becomes so much harder for Protoss to actually break out and get the map control that they need. But this is really nice, this Zealot moving across the map right now. Good micro from Mong, just pulling back that Marine just in time, and the RNG gods are with him, or that SCV just happens to walk into dev space right at the right time. But the block on the ramp is good, and I don't think the Zealot's going to get any significant damage done. Is Mong a god? Hello? Hello? Is Mong a god? He didn't lose anything in that? Are you kidding me? That's actually insane that Mong actually managed to keep that Zealot out of his main and lose absolutely 0 units. That's actually insane. But Rain pulling a couple of probes off of gas. Looks like he's going to be going into that expansion now that his initial aggression has failed. And especially when you see the gasless fast expand, you really have to start accelerating your economy to catch up, because if you go against that one base expansion and you don't have the economy to back it up, you can get outclassed pretty quickly. I think he's a bit surprised because we've generally seen the tanks coming out pretty soon. Ooh, Proxy Factory! This is going to be interesting. I wonder if this is actually going to be Vulture drops, This feels like a vulture drop play. When you build the factory down there, you can build a starport right next to it, and just go ahead and float the vultures right behind the dragoons that normally be there. But the problem is, he didn't build a factory in his base, as far as I know. Oh, never mind, he did. It's the second factory. Sorry, ignore me. But he is gonna have that siege tank coming out right now, so this is gonna be double factory. There is a possibility for something weird like a double factory push coming up, just massing a whole bunch of units, hiding them up there, and then just going for a big push. But we'll have to see. It looks like he's actually just going to be making a scouting vulture that's just going to go into the natural and see what's going on. He may pull up one or two of them just to get more economic damage coming in. But the problem is this siege tank is not going to have siege mode for quite a while, and Mong is actually going to be losing a lot of resources repairing this bunker. He needs to pay attention. If he doesn't repair that bunker, he could actually just straight up lose. He needs to pay attention. Okay, looks like he's repairing it now. Whew. Scared me for a second. The dragoons are going to come in and try to snipe this tank. Not going to happen. First two vultures are going to come in, but they're not going to get into the main, so good deal right there. They're going to put down a couple mines, which is going to prevent reinforcements from really doing this, but good surround there from Rain. Does a good job of just dealing with, just using probes to pull this back. And moment of inattention at the same time, the bunker goes down, so Mong actually loses those vultures. He loses the bunker at the front. He's actually going to lose a tank. This is not looking great for Mong, but he is going to be able to push this away for right now. Maybe the double factory play was a little too cute, but another vulture is in Rain's natural right now, so it's going to be able to do a little bit of harassment, and the units are still stuck in the main due to those earlier spider mines. It's just so annoying to deal with, and snipes another one of those dragoons. Actually, I take that back. Mong is stabilized pretty nicely. Those spider mines up on the ramp have done such a really great job of just kind of zoning out any dragoons that want to get up the ramp and try to deal with this. And with good vulture micro, he can kill every single one of these probes with the natural. Reaver's out right now. That was really good micro there from Rain. Being able to soak up two of those spider mines without actually taking damage to that Reaver. Really good stuff. So, a little bit messy, a little bit sloppy from both players, but all kinds of stuff going on everywhere. And I think at this point, the game has almost equalized. I would give Rain a slight edge, but he is further behind in the economy, so he really has to get some damage done with this Reaver if he really wants to catch up, but Reavers are retarded, so okay, he gets a little bit of damage done there. I'm not gonna lie, every time I see like a scarab go out, I just at this point I'm like not even excited. I know it's not gonna hit anything. I know it's gonna hit like one SCV or it's just gonna dud. You very rarely see like a really good Reaver hit. So but yeah, a lot of probes went down for Rain, and if Mong can just turtle on these bases, he'll be in pretty good shape. There was definitely a moment where Mong could have straight up lost the game, but those spider mines really did save him. Without those spider mines guarding the main ramp, I think that Mong would be in a pretty bad spot right now. And there goes the Reaver, just gets insta-popped by that siege tank. That's why you put siege tanks near mineral lines. At this point, Mong actually does have an attack timing. He can honestly just move across the map with the units he has right now. And there's not really much that Rain can do about it. He's going to take the third though. He's going to be a little bit safer and just control this ridge instead, which I think is a pretty smart move. You don't really need to go for the throat or be overly aggressive here. You have a huge advantage. You might as well just take the third earlier, focus on your upgrades, and just get that 200 death ball of mech units.
야 지금 꺾일 생각을 안 하고 있어. 이러면서 팩토리 3개 들려주면서
앞마당에 스타포트 지은 것 같죠? 앞마당에.
스타포트와 이제 사이언스
Meanwhile, starport's going up. Probably going to be seeing a couple of science vessels to deal with any arbiters that come out in the future.
자, 날렵했는데 이건 아무것도 못했고 일단은.
Maybe even a dropship for
자,
some
언덕 지역에 자리 잡고
vulture
이쪽에서
harassment.
마인으로
I think it's undervalued in the
이 마인이
mid game.
제거되면 이 병력을
Not enough
뺏어
Terran
수비를
players
하는데 하지만
do
그
vulture
전까지는
drops
이 골목을
or
지키겠다는
Goliath
의지를
drops.
보여주고
That's
있는
where it's at.
몽골입니다.
Goliath
리버의
drops.
활약을 못했기 때문에
Oh,
지금은
God.
약간 옵저버로 테란의 빌드를 제때제때 확인하면서
So not Junggi, Rain taking his third right now, and doing a pretty good job of catching up in the economy. I like that he went ahead and went for the risk of taking that early third nexus before he was actually prepared to defend it, and it's starting to pay off because he's actually gonna catch up in his mineral saturation and have a decent economy. The only problem is that his tech is going to be quite a bit later, and there's still an opening for Mong to just move across the map and kill his opponent before he gets the critical mass of units out. But we'll have to see. I think we saw Arbiter Tech coming out right now, and I would agree with Arbiter Tech. Although carriers do seem like they might be decent on this map, especially when you're in this particular economic situation. But good missile turret placement is going to be able to push away that Reaver for now. Meanwhile, a couple more of these spider mines going down towards the bottom, just getting vision for Mong, just keeping tabs on where the Protoss army might be.
벌쩍 또 돌아가가지고 한 기, 두 기, 세 기까지 잡아주고요.
So more probes going down. It's unfortunate to have more economic damage coming in, especially with such small number of vultures. If there's anything that we've seen in this series so far, it's that Mong gets a lot done with very small numbers of vultures. Like in last game, at the very beginning of the game, we just saw 1 or 2 vultures walk in, like one by one, just cruise in, pick off like 2 or 3 probes, lay a couple mines. It's so annoying to deal with as a Protoss player, but those small advantages eventually add up. 4th base going down for Rain. This is maybe a little greedy, but wow, Mong actually going for a 4th as well. So Mong he feels pretty comfortable in this game. You can tell that he doesn't feel any pressure from his opponent at all. He knows that he can just play it safe, wait for his upgrades, and go economy right now. Doesn't have to go super crazy on the units. But I'm a little bit worried about Rain. It's kind of weird that he's expanding in this way toward the Terran player. This is not something that you normally see. Usually you would expand up the right side of the map and just split it vertically, but very interesting from Rain to go for this kind of different split. Allows him to get a better concave if the army tries to attack into his 3rd or his 4th. So cool, smart way to play. Upgrades halfway done for Mong. He'll probably have +2, +1 coming up pretty soon, which lends itself to a really strong timing once he gets up to about 170 supply. A little bit more of this Reaver drop harass coming in, but it's kind of stuck in here for right now. There's not really any place to go with the shuttle right now, and it's going to get sniped by that last Goliath. Unfortunate, but again, like I said before, the goal of Reaver drops isn't necessarily to do economic damage. Economic damage is nice, but if you can keep your opponent pinned back and buy, you know, a minute or 2 of time, it's still worth it to do Reaver drops, as long as you're continuing to build up behind it. But only +1 for Rain right now. He's got his Arbiter Tech out right now and a couple of High Templar. It's pretty interesting that more and more players are mixing in early High Templar. I think it's a bit of an interesting trend. It allows for crazy stuff like storm drops in the middle of a fight while you're forcing the turn to siege and unsiege and use their APM elsewhere, you can start doing storm drops and get big economic damage while they're distracted.
거침없이 하고 있어요.
Stuff like that, or it just helps if the Terran player isn't very careful about pushing out. This is a fairly decently sized Protoss army, but there's a pretty big mech army outside as well, and they do have that +2/+1. Lots of zealots coming in right now, but Mong, if I know Mong, he's got a ton of vultures. Mong loves getting vultures. He'll usually get you know, like at least 20 vultures into his mech army. It's actually insane how many vultures Mong tends to get. But here comes the push. It's coming across the map right now. Slow and steady with the missile turrets coming from behind. So very nicely done by Mong so far. But here comes the big fight. Rain's going to come in here. Good storms going down on top of the vultures, but he really needs to get those on top of the tanks. So the first wave has been cleaned up, but honestly that really wasn't a very good trade for Rain. He traded a bunch of gateway units for a bunch of vultures, and vultures are expendable. As a mech army, you don't really care if you lose vultures because all that matters is the siege tank and the tank count. Tank count has not really been dented, and Mong is just going to move straight up into this base. There's not really anything to defend here. This is a very paltry force, and again, there's absolutely no concave of any kind. The Protoss army is going to be reliant on pushing head-on into a mech army, and that's never going to work. EMP for good measure, but looks like Rain is super dead. There's the GG. And Mong is a god.
몽군이 잡아내면서 3대 0으로 앞서가는 팀